Whose car? My friend's car. Your friend's car, but he's got it registered here? Okay, let me just take this then. That's all I'll need. Okay, this is the address here? What happened? You just drive it here and it burned up?
I didn't know that. I don't feel it. How did it happen? The cow. And see what you want your first name. K-S-E-Y. K-A-E-Y. Your last name? You like Campbell. He like David. He like David. I. Okay, your birthday?
Check the insurance papers on it, on the car? Yes. Why don't you get it out for me too? Documenting it.
When was Woodward built now, that far?
I don't know when it was built that far.
Mine built so I can
They were in the process of widening. Yes.
I'm impressed.
be impressed. I do it all the time.
That's gas house. Gas house. That's right, gas house. Gasco, the other one. Earl.
Yes.
Gasco.
Where's that?
On Prairie. We should go through the slides and pull the duplicates. We were going to do that last night, we ran out of time.
I read about
There's the
the
water tower.
water.
It was in 1928.
And the
That's the
kids
way I
went
do
right
cold water
there in that
when
center.
Yeah, wasn't it? And I
And I
had
had-
water to turn everything orange.
But it was cold.
It was cold. Yeah, you let clothes soak in it, you could need orange clothes. That's on Coolidge looking south, about 1941.
Back on this?
42.
No, Mom put yours. Yeah, Mom put both.
Over at Anderson.
But was the PTA
Just,
bill?
no, but just
How long
before.
were there?
I'll tell you.
Didn't want anybody to, so I brought them all here.
Yeah, our attics are raising.
Oh, in the front here.
Cheer up. It's Berkley.
Great.
I'll wait till after. Marcia. Ralph and Jerry? Now, we'll let the camera people place you from there. I got you that far.
Maybe why don't you come on this side, because the camera's moving this way.
Oh, all right.
See our water.
Ralph's got to put his name tag on here.
They're not gonna shoot that far down. Up, we don't want the box.
I can see.
Okay.
Yes, they're not going to shoot the boxes. Okay. Now,
How's that?
you look like a row of convicts.
Yeah, we sure do.
Okay. Cut.
We formally dedicate and open the Berkley Historical Society building. Shirley, would you like to turn the cameras on our chairperson here, Shirley McClellan?
I want to thank you all for coming and participating in this, for us, very important event. It's taken us a long time to get this museum. We hope that it will be a pleasure for everyone in Berkeley, and we encourage anyone who has something they would like to loan or to give us to exhibit in the museum to do so. We welcome inquiries. We'll be happy to take people on tour. We have lots of things you don't see because we haven't sorted and classified many, many things. We have pictures and clippings, and we're going to need a lot of help in identifying people that are in these pictures too. So please, please feel free to call upon us. We need you, and we really welcome your interest. Thank you. Is there anything, oh, you've already done some shots, so.
That was the button.
I saw those actually one.
They were a lot of fun.
Really, we didn't.
Oh, I know. In front, can you get?
I don't have to get down. I can stand here with her.
Press your hair down here and then your name is this way.
Huh? You want me down?
No, stand up.
Can you see you? Oh, are you sure you can see you? Okay.
Okay, hang on one second. Okay, can you move over a little bit this way, one step, and then you just take one step this way. There you go. And you're okay. Surely I can't see you. There you go.
Okay, I'll lean back and Shirley lean forward. There we are.
Okay.
You got us all?
All right, but your hands in. There you
There.
go. Big smile, right, and couple more. And go ahead and cut it. Can you cut it?
Oh!
Cut. Without getting my hand in the way.
Yay, okay.
Only often said, I just found this beautiful book in the 1920s, and the pictures are gorgeous.
Yeah, I saw them.
And she asked if we'd like it for, we didn't even have a museum, of course, but someday we thought we would. So I took it.
I'm telling you, they did a great job. So what kind of stuff are you looking for? Anything that pertains to, say, Berkeley from,
No.
from when
And Berkeley
started
families,
to present, right?
furniture from the 30s. We want to finish that. This area over here is the kitchen. We have a stove.
Many of you might remember these little toys which are called wacky walkers, which were very popular in the 50s and 60s. This one is three little pigs with a big bad wolf. And they're made to go down a ramp and actually walk. That inspired me to make this little guy. He's made out of sterling silver and some little bits of gold. And he has a little platform made of wood with silver things. I believe this is long. He wants to behave. He's in a little more of a hurry. This piece is from Africa, from the area that's now Ghana. It's called a Dahomey brass. The Dahomey people made little figures in brass, cast in brass, and then with files and chisels. And many of them are made just as sort of little sculptures depicting various everyday activities that would do. This one is made more or less as a toy with this balancing. This technique of this balancing figure has been used in many cultures. I've seen Japanese wooden toys made this way and pieces from India and European toys. That one inspired me to make several pieces, of which this is one made in silver, and this is a piece of lapis. The idea is basically the same. It looks much harder to figure out how to get them to balance than it really is. As long as the weight on each end is pretty equal and the weight is below the balancing point, you usually don't have any problem balancing things. All of you know who this guy is, and I'm sure many of you remember playing with toys like this. I don't know what the real name for this kind of toy is. Many of you people know. I've never been able to find out what they're really called. I've always just called it an acrobat, but it must have a name. But anyhow, this is from the 1930s. About as old as I am. And that's inspired this little piece that I made, again with silver and semi-precious stones and wood. I just went one step further and made a little base for it so that when you're not playing with it, you can display it. This is another toy that I don't know the official name for. It's sort of a little puppet that when you squeeze the bottom, you can get it to do different things. And this, as you can probably recognize without even seeing it, is Elsie the cow. This is something that I think is from the early 1940s. I haven't named it except the date exactly, but that's around when Elsie was first popular. This used to have a noisemaker so that it would move, but the noisemaker is still there, but the move is not there. And that inspired this little silver robot. Depending on where you squeeze on the bottom, you can sort of control certain parts of the And this is a little tin wind-up taxi cab from about 1930, American made by the Ferdinand Strauss company, which later was taken over by the Marx toy company, which was around for a long time. The idea all it does is really sort of neat. And that, in a way, has inspired this funny little car that I did. Now, he doesn't wind up, but if you move him along, watch what happens. Keep your eye on the driver's head and the top of the table is too slippery, it's not getting enough friction, but as he goes around, see his head goes around. Now this again is made of sterling, and And that's a very small part of my toy collection. I just thought I would bring a few examples that illustrated some of the moving sculptures that I've done. And making these things gives me an excuse to collect the toys I once. The inspiration of collecting them.
We'd like to thank you for bringing your collection and the beautiful things in silver, which I should have announced in the beginning were silver. But they are lovely, and I hope you can come back and bring us some other examples because these were delightful to see and very creative. I love those animals and the faces. And I think everyone has enjoyed meeting your toys. Thank you. Yeah. You're welcome anytime. Thank you. And now we hope that you all have a cookie. And we're glad that you came, and feel free to look around at everything in the
Does anybody
museum.
have any questions?
And yes, he would like to answer your questions.
I have a couple of them. Well, first, where do you get all the silver that you have?
Well, as a matter of fact, I get my silver right here in Berkeley. There's a place called the C.R. Hill Company. It's a supplier of silver and related materials and tools for services and jewels and so on. I'll just about a block west of Coolidge.
And did you have any teaching on how to do this?
Yes, I studied art. I did my undergraduate work at Wayne University, and I was a student at Columbia. Specialized in that.
How long did it take to an average of doing these?
Well, everybody asks me that, and I always say one of these days I'm going to keep track, but it takes a long time. I can tell you that. I would say anywhere from a few days to several weeks. Depending on how complex it is and how much trouble you have. And sometimes something that you think is going to go real fast doesn't. It's hard to say exactly. You don't just knock them out in a couple of minutes, actually.
Do you ever sell any of your pieces?
I hope to, yes.
Do you?
Occasionally I'm surprised at sometimes. No, I'm my work can be seen in this area at the Donna Jacobs Gallery.
Yes, I think we should make a trip there and have a look.
That one that is Please Be Quiet, dancing around there, you know, like, what are there springs or what is under? Something
Yeah,
like that.
there's, the thing is sort of strung together with nylon fishing line.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a spring in between. There's sort of like a little round plaque of wood in here, and the spring keeps it tight. And then when you push up, you're loosening the spring, and that, it takes the pressure off, and then the pieces are free to move around.
I think that's interesting. You see a lot of toy, collectors, but never somebody that has duplicated or something like
Or
that.
used a toy for inspiration
Yeah,
to create something very different.
Greg's got to realize he's like a little strong.
We here at the museum are planning to our fire department, part of our public safety department, and we are going to show you some old-time firefighting equipment and hear a lot about this material that is here on the table, which is here thanks to the courtesy of Officer Pete Kelly. And he is going to tell us what it's used for and how old it is and why it's important that we know how to prevent fires. Pete?
Thank you, Shirley. I've got a variety of equipment here. Most of it belongs to me. Some of it I bought from the city. Virtually all the nozzles here, or almost all of them, were at one time in service in the old Berkley Fire Department prior to the department becoming a public safety department. I purchased some of the nozzles from the city. Some of them I retrieved from the dumpster. I hate to see any old relics like this just go to waste, so that's where I acquired some of them. The extinguishers were gifts from various friends. I might as well start with a nozzle. That's probably one of the most basic pieces of firefighting equipment. I've got a variety of nozzles here. The simplest one here, this was a gift from Bill Ackerman from the Historical Society. He gave this to me after noticing my nozzle collection in my window. This is just an old, what's called a smooth bore nozzle, and the reason being is that all it is a tapered pipe with an open end. This is designed for an 1.5-inch hose, and one of the detriments to this kind of nozzle was that obviously the operator has no means of controlling the water on and off. When water flows, water goes out the nozzle, and the nozzle man himself has no means to alter that. Only the person operating the pumping vehicle can start or stop his water stream. You still see some of these nozzles, although usually they're plastic now instead of solid brass, but you still see them occasionally on standpipe hoses in buildings in a stairwell or something. I can't date this nozzle, but it could be anywhere from virtually the beginning of motorized, really non-motorized fire apparatus up until probably the mid-1900s, where other nozzles began to evolve. Another old nozzle, and again this is solid brass, this is made by the Rockwood Sprinkler Company, and often referred to as a Navy nozzle. This particular nozzle here, which is designed also for an 1.5-inch hose line, was the standard equipment aboard Navy vessels at the onboard firefighting stations, which consisted usually of only 100 feet of hose with a nozzle attached and perhaps an axe. But these also saw service in the municipal fire service for many, many years. It was a unique nozzle in that it had two separate openings in the front. If you look, this small opening at the top, when the nozzle's open partially, I should back up. When the nozzle's open partially, water comes out this bottom port here and comes out in a fog